Hi, my name is Luke, and I'm a beginner skater. And I like to talk skateboarding. I like to think of this as a vlog slash video progression journal, but I'm putting it here so I thought I would like to talk about skateboarding as well. Things like the skater culture, what I experienced being a skater, how people act with new skaters. If there's an opinion you have or an experience, comment and talk to me. I will try to respond as often as I can. I'm not always this stuffed up. So, I'm recording this about a week after my birthday, and I have an entirely different setup, pretty much. Currently riding a new deck and wheels and trucks. My deck is the Andy Anderson Pro model in Mini. It's the Powell Peralta Flight Deck version. I don't know if it comes in maple or something. Then I have my Indy mids here. Stock bushings. Carrying over my Bronson bearings, and I got new bones, Street Tech formula, Street formula in 52 actually, 52 millimeters. I was gonna say 51, and they are 99A hardness. The Indies are really interesting too because they have a cool kingpin design. With the discussion about what I'm currently riding out of the way, explaining what I'm riding out of the way, I wanted to talk about how it feels, the board itself. So, I have my bushings, pretty kind of tight, but loosened a little bit. But these are pretty loose bushings, so if I keep them really loose, I just lose control. And the Street Tech wheels, or the Street Formula wheels, these are something I've been wanting to try, because I haven't tried a harder wheel yet. And I tried them out, and they slide so nicely. It's like a whole nother world. And lastly, I wanted to talk about the shape of this. No, not lastly. What am I talking about? I wanted to talk about the Indies next, actually. So, they're Indy mids. They are... I don't know actually how tall they are. But they're a medium-sized truck. They're not too low. They're not super low, like I used to have, but they're also not super high. But what I find really interesting is the kingpin sits below the actual truck on these. So if I'm 50-50 and I'm not gonna get caught at all. It's just gonna pass right over. And I think that's really smart. And they are a chunky truck, so I can slam into ledges and not worry about not having a truck. And I can try ledges and stuff. I'm actually getting more used to the trucks being a little bit higher than they were before. I think that's because I switched to a little smaller of a wheel. Then I wanted to also talk about the shape of this board. It is designed by Andy Anderson. This is his mini version, so not the original, but it's been kind of shaped to be able to pretty much do the same thing. I'm not entirely sure if it's perfect, but so far it's been a good deck. So right off the bat, it has an interesting shape. So it has this it juts out with wings here. I was watching an interview with him, and he was talking about what each of these shapes actually are for, and why it's a square tail, and why this is here with a little bit of that here, just like a little, almost like a classic tail here to make it more comfortable for other stuff. Then the nose is rounded. Then this part right here, it comes in a little bit here, but then right here and here, these two measure out to be the exact same length. So it's perfect for primo stalls, he said. And I've tried it out, and it works really nicely. It sits. I can stand on there in primo. I can't land primo yet, but that's because I'm new. Now, when you're in primo, each of these do a different thing. Your nose, it goes like this. It's a softer flip. It's a softer takeoff. But you go off the tail, it's gonna flip really crazily. And I found that so interesting. And then you might notice the wheel wells on this thing. How they jut out a bit. Here. That's for dark slides. That's so you don't start flying off with your dark slide. I think that's an amazing idea. I can't do dark slides, but it's still genius. Then, okay, he also said, right here in this interview, he was talking about if you draw a line from here to about here on your wheels, flick it, it's gonna pressure flip or impossible, depending on what footing you have. And that's brilliant. I've tried out a few tricks on it. The square tail just feels really good for ollieing off of it. It's nice and wide, and it gives me a good feel when I hit. I never feel like my foot's gonna fall off the board. And the nose and tail are actually balanced. It's not precisely, but it takes just as much force to hit the nose as it does to hit the tail. So it effectively is a twin tail. Or a twin nose, or whatever you want it to be. And, so I do my shove-its off of right here. I just flick it, and it just goes around so easily. And I think it's just such a brilliant board. I've done, honestly, some of my favorite skating on this board so far. And, like, I was super proud of my Rock to Fakie, and that was on a really cheap board. Like, it had pressure cracks in it and everything. I've done my favorite skating on this. And I haven't even had this, like, an entire week. It's amazing. Good job, Andy Anderson. Good job. On my last session, I started the process to learn to ollie into and out of a 50-50 grind. Got what felt like the longest ride on a 50-50 I've done, as well as my first pop shove it. Felt super awesome to land. Nigel Jones, Braille, pop shove it late flips he does. Had me thinking about them when I tried and landed my first one. But, you know, that's all for this video. If you want to talk skating, leave a comment below, or follow and send me a message on Instagram at LKESK8S. If you like this video, give it a like, and if you would like to see more, subscribe and check out my other skating.